Hey everybody, I'm Tom Gumberculese, the Game Master here, and I've got another American Dad video for you. I've been having a ton of fun with this game. And this video is going to be for players like me, the free-to-play guys. I don't like to spend a lot of money on games because I don't have a lot of money to spend on games. I'm going to show you the things that will help you advance the fastest, and the things you're going to want to focus on as a free-to-play player. So having said that, I'm just going to kind of jump right into the game here. So the first thing I want to talk about is resources. You see here how you got your buildings, they do stuff while you're away. That's an important part of the game. I'm going to talk about this guy here for a minute, Reginald Koala. There are times when you're going to want to use his services, and there's times where you're going to want to save your golden turd currency. Your buildings here, the ones that produce resources for you while you're offline, in this game, they are not the primary focus of your resource gathering. But if these buildings fill up and stop producing for you until you log back in, that's okay. It's really not going to affect how much money and wood and energy you get. The times that you're going to want to focus on him is when you have fighters to upgrade. So when you're going from fighters to level 20 to level 30, or from level 30 to level 40, that takes a long time. And having him be able to gather these upgrades while you're offline actually goes a long way to getting your fighters where you need to be. So I would prioritize your fighter's skill level here. Get a few guys up as high as you can. I've got a couple of 40s, and I've got this guy that I'm keeping at 35 because of his artifact. Once I upgrade that, I'll switch to the next one. So that's the first thing, managing your golden turd currency and not wasting it on the koala when you don't need to have him. Having a second builder helped me a lot. You do get a good amount of golden turds just from playing the game. I saved up for the 750 and bought the extra worker. Here's the next thing you're going to want to focus on as a free-to-play player. Your map. American Dad Apocalypse Soon is a very heavily based PvP game. Okay, the campaign is one-shots. Once you beat the level, you can't go back. There's no grinding. Everything that you get is based on attacking other characters. So every day, and sometimes a couple times a day if you've got the time, log in and look over who you have PvP battles with. You can pick the guys that are weaker than you. One of the things you're going to want to focus on as a free-to-play player is to make sure that you do these ad-related quests. It's the only way you're going to grind up that special currency. And they are pretty liberal with it. They also have one here where you can upgrade your fighters, reduce the time by 40 minutes. I think you're limited to 3 a day. You go into your special events here, the football stadium, where you can get some of these rare items and also golden turds. At the lower levels, I just focus on that. You're also going to want to focus on upgrading your Rogers. Here's where you're going to do that. 4 and 5 Rogers can have higher scores when you get them trained up. Not a problem when you start the game, but you're going to want to think ahead for that. Get at least a couple of 4-star Rogers so that you can upgrade their weapon score high enough. You're going to want to spend some time in the morning mimosa tournaments. They are very cheap if you do food, and I'll enter in a tournament here for this video. This place is a good way to grind up rare equipment for your maximum fighter level. So the market upgrades itself when you upgrade your Rogers and gives you some appropriate range for where you're at. Right now my range is 39 to 40. I don't have awesome gear for everybody that's 39 to 40. So every time I play these tournaments, I'm going to go in, I'm either going to save my points to upgrade my fighters, or I'm going to spend my points to upgrade my fighters. But the Morning Mimosa tournament is the easiest way to control what you need. One of the things I also like to do is you can switch back between Morning Mimosa tournaments and your PvP battles. So while you're waiting to connect, look for the guys that you're going to beat up. This guy here, 152, I can take him out. I did another video on Morning Mimosa tournaments that covers in-depth the strategies that you're going to want to use. So see here, I did that battle. I've got 1 minute 28 seconds left. If I'm not doing something else while I play this game, I'm going to go back to my home screen, gather some resources, look at some things. I'm going to focus on my PvP battles, on clearing those out. Next thing I'm going to talk about is your fighters. You get all these Rogers, but what strategies should you be using? The nice thing about this game is a lot of logic from other video games applies. You've got your DPS roles, you've got your tank roles, you've got your support roles. In the early game, you're going to want to focus on just a very simple strategy. 1 tank and 2 DPS is where it's at. So I get one guy and I fill him up with just about everything I can to keep him alive longer. Your best armor, a lot of dodge, a lot of health, everything that I can do to keep him alive longer. I'm in the second round of this tournament here, so I'm just gonna kind of hang back. Battle 3, same thing. And you're gonna have to accept the fact that you're not going to be first place every time. He's got all kind of epic gear. They've either been grinding for a long time or they spent some cash. After you do your big rounds of PvP, you're gonna have to spend that money so you can upgrade your stuff. So just find something that needs to be upgraded, something you want. I'm gonna spend this here because I know I'll get all of that back on my PvP stuff. Back into the tournament now. It's round 4. I'm gonna see if I can make a move or not. This guy, I can't beat him. I can't beat him, but I can beat these two guys. You're gonna wanna hang back for the first few rounds and then make your move right at the end. I wanna be just behind Barry here because I can beat him in the next round. I'm gonna take a risk here and fight this guy. Oh, and they're gonna jump me right into round 5. So Barry, this was my guy. I'm gonna beat him up for 60 points and see if that's enough to get me first place. So I got 205 here. I don't know if that's gonna be enough to win the tournament, but I should place. This other guy beat me, but he was 30,000 points ahead of me. There's nothing I could do against him directly. If I had a higher score, I would have been much more aggressive in the 4th round. But because I am not the top dog on this pyramid, I had to be a lot smarter and just kind of pick my battles. Top 4. So now you see here I've got my mimosa bottles. So I got a little bit of reward for doing that tournament. You see here my currency is at 250 for the special market. I'm gonna check my fighters now and see if there's anything that I have on my wish list to upgrade. His weapon is okay, his armor is okay, the amulet is great. The ring I don't really care for because it's giving energy damage. The energy damage is not what I want for this frontline guy. I want plus to damage, not plus to energy damage. So while the dodge is nice, I would like to have a better ring for him. So taking a look at my DPS fighters here, I've got good weapons on all of them. This guy's got armor, good ring. His amulet is severely lacking. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take those 250 points and see if I can't get an upgrade for him. So let's buy an amulet. Amulet of Peace, Energy Charge, and Energy Armor. That's really not what I wanted. That's an Engineer's amulet. I've often found that in the later levels, the Engineers get a lot more powerful. But in the beginning, every time I've tried to use them, I just find myself going back to 1 strong tank and 2 gun people behind him. If you have a different experience, let me know in the comments below. So to kind of recap, the way you're going to get the most out of this game is, number 1, you do want to focus on your resources and buildings, but you want to save your special currency. Leave the koala up here up top unless you're upgrading fighters and you need to get that done. Second thing is make use of the PvP stuff. Beat up your guys every day, beat up your guys twice a day. That's where you're going to get the bulk of your income for upgrades. Participate in the Morning Mimosa tournaments. So that's something you can grind very casually and get your fighters the gear that they're going to need to compete for your level. The other thing that you're going to want to do is you've got your special events here like the stadium. I can't place high enough yet to get the big rewards. Ultimately, it would be awesome to be able to grind for legendary rings. It looks like I'm in the area where I could either get the rare items or I'll probably focus on getting more of the golden turns and random clones. So let's grab a couple of clones here while we're here and see how they do, and some golden turds, because I'm not going to place any higher than that. So we got 2 new Rogers here. We got a level 3, just put him anywhere. This guy's a level 4, that's what I wanted. So I'm going to take him and I'm going to get him started upgrading because I want all my fighters to be level 4 fighters. That's how you're going to upgrade yourself as a free-to-play player. Let's talk about spending the special currency, the golden turds. You don't get a lot of these things, so you have to be really smart what you do with them. I found that the builder is a good investment because that sticks with you for the rest of the game. The gear, I would stay away from. This gear is for your pay-to-win guys. You can spend 350 to get rare and epic items and maybe legendaries for your level, but as soon as you upgrade, that stuff's going to be out of date. Also, as a free-to-play player, I would focus on anything that's ad-related. You can let the commercial run, and then the Ad Watcher's chest here is great for free-to-play players. You click on it, you watch it, and after the bar fills up, you get 25 golden turds. The daily chest is not really that special. Get it anyways because it's free. As a free-to-play player, you're also going to want to focus on the daily quests over here. These chests here for completing the daily quests, You can take as long as you need to fill up that bar, and they give you a lot of golden turds, and you can get some good items from them. Don't forget about that. Watch the ad quests because you'll grind golden turds. You're going to need those. You can get mimosa tickets after you do a few of them. All that stuff is great. So I've been playing the game for a couple of weeks, and the only money that I've spent is on this Hurdle the Turtle here. I liked the Hurdle the Turtle. I thought he was a Reginald Koala. I mentioned this in my last video. He does not pick up things while you're gone. He is just a turtle. If you want a turtle, buy him. If you want a koala that runs around and grabs stuff but looks like a turtle, you're wasting your money. This guy is just a turtle. He's kind of fun though. I like having him around. Let me talk about the fighters real quick. When I say you're going to want a tank and DPS, if you're not familiar with some of the game terminology, I'll explain what I mean. A tank is your guy that soaks up damage. You're going to give your tank your warrior equipment, okay? That's these little brass knuckles here. Give this guy your best gear to keep him alive the longest. Anything that boosts health and armor, anything that has dodge on it, these are all good things. Some of the weapons you might want to consider for your tank, instead of having the high DPS option, is it might make sense to give one that has a chance of healing himself. So this one has an 11% chance of 7% health. If I found that I was interested in more healing for this guy, I might sacrifice some of my DPS and give him the survivability. Let's look at my two DPS guys. They're gun guys. The gun guys are the DPS guys. Their clothing gives big bonuses to damage, and sometimes they have nice effects. I got my hands on this epic weapon as a drop. It boosts my power level by a lot. I saved up in Morning Mimosa and bought this here artifact. Helps my tank in the front line because he's the one that gets healed. My other DPS guy here, if you take a look at him, he's just got a big freaking shotgun and the best armor that I have. I gave him a little bit of dodge and energy damage, but to be honest, your armor, your dodge on your DPS guys, it doesn't matter that much at all. If this guy's getting hit, you lose. The only person that you want getting hit is your tank. These other guys, they need to back him up and take everybody out before your tank dies. Those are the things you're going to want to focus on. Other than that, just click the things. This thing wants to give you money, take the money. This thing wants to let you watch a commercial so you can get some free stuff, watch it. This thing wants to give you food so you can do other stuff, great. I found the best place to grind is your Morning Mimosa tournaments and your PvP. Those are the things that I found as a free-to-play player that helped me get the most out of the game. If you're going to play this game free-to-play, you're not going to have the best equipment compared to the people who are buying the chest. And that's fine. It's possible to have fun with games like this without spending any money. And that's what this video is about. So let me know in the comments below if you spent any money on this game and you were happy with the results, or you felt it was a good value, then maybe I'm wrong. I think that as a free-to-play player, there's more than enough tools in this game to get yourself where you want to be eventually. But I'm Tom Gumberculese, the Game Master, and if you'd like to check out what I'm really good at, I'd invite you to watch episode 1 of Monster of the Week. Do you like the show Supernatural? Do you like the show Harmon Quest? Were you a D&D nerd growing up? If you answered yes or no to any or all of these questions, this is the right show for you. I'll leave a link down below to where you can check out the first episode. Give episode 1 a watch, and as a one-time special offer, if you are not completely satisfied with your viewing experience, leave a comment in the video and I will refund your viewing price. You're not going to get that in any other channel. That is a Gumberculese exclusive offer. Having said all of that, I am Tom Gumberculese, the Game Master. Have a wonderful day. Keep watching.